have everybody keep in mind that I'm not answering this from somebody else's ideas or other people, other researchers' thoughts and theories on the subject. I will answer these based on my own personal experience. I'm going to base all my answers from here, and from what we've experienced here on the farm and in the area. Hello everybody, this is episode 1, possibly many. We are going to start our Q&A videos. I'm going to do them in a series because there's quite a few. I've had quite a few emails sent to me. And again, for those that are new that may not know what's going on here, I decided to do a series of Q&A videos as a referral. Just over the past few years, I've probably sound like a broken record because a lot of new people that come on board ask the same questions. A lot of the same questions are being asked. I can use these videos, these Q&A videos, as a referral. I can just send them, okay, you need to go to Q&A, into the Q&A videos and look for episode 5 on Bigfoot and orbs. As we go forward here, I realize it's become apparent there's a lot of conditioned views. A lot of people are coming from other places, other groups, other researchers, what have you. A repetitive narrative being pushed out there, I'm not quite sure because I try not to follow too much of what is happening out there. People are coming with different ideas and different theories and different beliefs, right? A lot of people have turned what they've heard into a belief system about these beings, about these Sasquatch. And through the Q&A, we will cover all of these things. A bit of disclaimer here, I don't know everything about them. I would never claim to be all-knowing, but I do have 51 years of experience. That was back in 1972, and it's been ongoing ever since, off and on, right? And it's only been in the last 6 years that I've made an attempt to connect with these beings, right? Connect with them. So far, it's been going pretty good, right? It's been going pretty good. There's been some ups and downs and mistakes made along the way. So this is what we're going to do today. This will be episode 1 of, like I say, many in our Q&A series. If there's anybody else that would like to have a question answered or hear what I think of certain things, or I do have theories of my own, I'll put my email here at the bottom of the screen, and feel free to ask them. Feel free to ask anything you'd like. Cause keep it focused, keep it on the subject of Sasquatch, of Bigfoot, and I will try to answer it in the best way that I can. In the kind of order here, I'm just going to go from the top and we'll work our way to the bottom of the emails. First email is coming from Charlene Harris, and this was sent to me Monday, July the 31st, 2023. Charlene writes, "Hello, Robert. Have you always known about all the clans that are around you? Which clan was the most recent one you have located? Do you think that some of the older clans remember you from when you were little?" I'll start from there's kind of 3 in 1 here, and that's okay. That's all right. I'll start from the last one of the 3. Do I think that the older clans know me since I was little, since I was a young little whippersnapper? This group here, this clan here, the one that is at the farm, the one that we always knew was here, which is the Swan Lake clan. This group here would have watched me grow up. As I mentioned, our first encounter, our first experience here on the farm, we would spend hours, growing up, As a child, there was a lot more trees here, less farming, and we were almost the end of a road. There was no exit just past our property here, our farm. And then the farmers started buying up the land, and then all our trees disappeared, which was very sad. It was very sad for all of us to see here. All of a sudden, a lot of the game disappeared. We stopped hearing wolves, and we used to hear wolves all the time. We used to go sleep hearing wolves. And a lot of people are afraid of them. I understand that. It's because people fear what they don't understand. On a normal situation, in a normal setting, they will have nothing to do with humans. Wolves, right? They stay out of sight. You rarely see them. You hear them sing. This group, this clan would have known me as a young little boy. And I believe they've always been here, and they've watched us grow up. Because we always heard things, seen things, smelled them. We would smell them, but we were never afraid of any of that. We were always in the trees, right? We were always in the trees, building forts. We would go into the back half a mile into the trees here near the farm and build our lean-tos and camp. And we grew up along the river on the trap line, my father's trap line. We're not afraid of anything out there, and that's the crazy part of it, because anything that's out there, if it picks up your fear, it becomes fearful of you, right? And that's where a lot of things get crazy. Bears and wolves and grizzlies, cougars, if they sense that fear in you and your eyes are bugged out when you see them and you're afraid, they either go into a defensive posture or they take off. It never turns out good, right? It never bodes well to be walking out there in fear. And it goes straight to the Sasquatch and the Bigfoot as well. If there's ever an empathic species, it is the Sasquatch. I think they could pick up on your energy, your emotions, what your intentions are. It's like they can read you before you can even get close to them. I think that's why the sightings are so few and far between. I know people will say there's lots of sightings. I think the numbers are wrong, but that's another thing we'll get into through the Q&A. I think the numbers are wrong. We'll go further into that through these Q&A videos. But it is, this group would know me. This group they possibly had younger ones when I was younger, and I could have grew up with some of those clan members. But I do believe they've always been here near us, in our yard, on our property, around it. We have the structures on our property and off, and some of them just appear and show up, and they've always been here. And I think they've actually guarded this place and protected us here. And there too, that's a story for another day, and I'm sure we'll get into that. I don't think I've had the question asked, but if somebody wants to ask that question, why I know they've been here protecting us for many, many years, whoever gets it to me first, I'll answer you. But the other groups, I don't know. Maybe the river clan may have known us growing up because we were always along that river, right? The river clan. My father's trap line was on that river. We were always on the river, boating, canoeing, fishing, camping, traveling along that river. And I'm sure they knew us and they seen us, and maybe they knew me more than I realized. I don't know that unless I was to speak to them myself, but I've always had a connection with them. As far back as I can remember, again, I was 4 years old. That was one of my, you know how you have childhood memories, the ones that just stay with you, and you can, it's like you remember them like it was yesterday. To Charlene's question, I think this group knew me and the other ones might know me through this one. Initially, now they know me. Now I'm getting to know them. The River Clan, once I reached out, I got this feeling of almost like finally, that came through. I need to mention that I am an empath and I do pick up on things. I sense things. I do pick up on things, and that was one of the things that came across once I reached out and I start to try to communicate with that River Clan. It kind of was like finally, and they're very, that group is like almost playful. I get a very playful, excited feeling from them. The Seven Creeks clan, that was very, the ground was very unstable. The grounds were very unstable. I made a mistake when I went to that group. I almost didn't go back. They threw me through the ringer, that group. And, but I almost didn't go back, but I had to, and I had to make it right. If anybody wants to ask about that incident with Seven Creeks, send me an email. And the White Birch clan has been not too bad, except for this last visit that I was at. There's been a shift in leadership. They do correspond with me. They do communicate with me through dream and through visions. It's been that way. When I have them, when they do that, it's very real. It's very, I mean, even the smells and the textures and everything in it. It's different. It's a different kind of dreams and visions with them. But so I can't answer that question completely, Charlene. Like if they all knew me, I know this one knows me because I grew up with them. And I think the other one was the most recent, the last one, the one that I know less would be the White Birch clan. That's the one that's most recent. This one first, Seven Creeks second, the River third, and then the White Birch clan would be fourth. And that one's still very fresh and very new. And I'm not sure, it's right at that point where I'm not sure where it's going because of my last visit and all of the infrasound here, that Sasquatch hitting me with that roar and the infrasound and the crazy emotional roller coaster that I was on while I was there. Every time I seem to want to go there, it seems to get in my way, whether it be the weather. It's just one of those things, right? It kind of drives me crazy, but I just got to wait it out. And I think it might be a blessing in disguise. They did lose a member. That was another thing that came across, and one of the younger males moved up. This is happening. Maybe things need to work themselves out there and settle down. And it's strange, but I'll get a call and I need to go there. They have never disappointed me. Hear the wood knocks and the vocals and the pictures I get in video. I think there's more information passed through to me than I realize, because when I get home, it takes me a few days to process everything that happened at these locations, like what I went through, what I heard, what I felt. And later on, as days pass, more and more comes through. They're teaching me, and I'm sharing with you, and so we're all learning together, right? That's how I kind of see this process. And I have said to them what I'm doing. And I think the first day that I went out with my camera, which was in the summer of 2019, I had a cell phone on a selfie stick. And I don't know if you guys all remember, but I'll post this picture here. They came, the big male came right up behind me. He's massive. He's the one we've tracked. I think he's got almost a 20-inch track here on the property in our yard. He is big. He's very big, and he came to see, and there was a female there too. I know. I'll try to find the still, because that was way back in 2019. I'll try to find the still of her. She's off to when you're looking at the video, he would be back here, and she's over this way. They came to see what I'm doing. I think that first day, I think they really thought I lost my mind. I do. I'm talking out there all by myself. I have this things on a stick. I replay that image, and they probably thought I was losing it. But I think this group here, and I think they all are getting used to me with a camera. I think the first part of your question, though, was, have I always known about these clans? Yes. Of course, we knew this one because we grew up around them and with them. We knew the river. We knew there was clans along the river. We always did, because we grew up along the river. And there too, you'd smell them. You'd see the structures. Seven Creeks, we always knew there was a group in there, because that's where, that's a big hunting area. And we used to hunt back in there. My dad, my father hunted in there, my uncles. Even, we go moose calling back in there. And the crazy part is we weren't going in there. A lot of times we didn't go shoot to kill a moose or call moose to kill one. It was just a friendly. There's quite a few in the family and relatives that it's kind of like a friendly, unspoken competition where you take your moose call and just see if you can't get a big, huge bull moose come out of the trees, right? For you. You're not going to shoot it, but just to see if you can get a moose to come. There are some pretty good moose callers in my family. One day I will call moose for you, but we would be in Seven Creeks area and calling moose, and the Bigfoot are answering us, and oh my goodness, they will. There's been a few years and quite a few times we were back there calling moose, and they were answering. There's been whoops and wood knocks and vocalizations as we're calling moose, right? So Seven Creeks we knew for many years. The river we knew. Of course, this group we knew. White Birch we also knew. There was always stories about things up there and sounds people heard and people we knew that owned the trap lines. My father felled trees up there for many, many years. He was a power saw man. He worked for Alberta Forestry, and the structures are up in there all over the place. But a lot of strange sounds and people seeing strange things. But a lot of people don't want to say too much about it because people think you're crazy, right? Not so much today, not so much now, but it's a little bit more accepted. Oh my goodness, I rambled on though. That was a little bit lengthy, but I think this is how these Q&A videos, these series of videos is probably going to go, because some of the questions are packed questions, right? And it's difficult to answer these in yes or no, black and white way. There's so many shades of gray in between, right? There's so much more there to speak about. I hope you enjoyed. So this will be Q&A episode 1, Do the Bigfoot Know Me? But I do hope you enjoy. I hope I answered your questions to your liking, Charlene. But I'll leave it there. Thank you again for being here. If there's any new subscribers, again, thank you all for subscribing and for being here. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody. And please stay tuned. It sounds like we're having warm double digits here come the weekend and on into the week. So it's kind of scary though. That kind of freaks me out, because normally we have 1.5 feet of snow on the ground, right? We haven't yet. And it's good in one way, but on the other hand, I've heard through some of the older people in the area that it looks like we're not going to have much snow this year. And that's not a good thing either. I know it's good for some people. People may enjoy that, but for farmers and agriculture and for rural areas, you need that blanket, right? It protects the roots of your trees, especially like in your yard or out in nature. That blanket of snow protects everything from those -30, -40 below cold weather that we might get. It's just like a blanket. My mother always called it a blanket of snow, and it keeps everything underneath it warm. It keeps it from dying, keeps it from freezing, right? So hopefully we do get some. So stay tuned. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the trees. Bye for now.